Today I'll be installing the Solar Performance throttle controller into my 2020 Wrx Sti. Let's do this. The first thing we're going to do is take it for a test drive before we install it to see the difference. You might be thinking, but it's manual. How is that going to make a difference? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Once you open the box, you'll notice the display. The display can be mounted anywhere in the vehicle utilizing the adhesive backend, but I'm going to have mine hidden. They have an app for Apple or Android under Solar PRF, which I think will be easier to use than just using the display. Next thing you have is the throttle controller. It is so cute, look at it. All you're going to do is plug that into your pedal, which we're going to show you in just a second. It comes with the instructions, of course, so you can read those. It tells you all about it, if I can get them out. Then it tells you everything that it does, and then it comes with 2 zip ties for an easy install. Step 1 on the instructions is to open all the car doors, even the trunk, and take the key fob as far away as you can for 10 minutes. This allows the electrical system to completely turn off. So the second step is going to be unplugging that cord that is connected to the pedal. Once you have it unplugged, you're going to use your handy dandy dad, and he's going to plug in one end of the throttle controller into the pedal and the other end into the harness that you unplugged earlier. It only goes one way. As you can tell in the previous video, we did take the pedal out. I was too weak to push down on the pin to get the connector out, and my dad's hands were too big to fit in there. It was just a 10mm socket to unscrew it, and we put it back in. And as you can tell now, we have it all zip tied up. We did use more zip ties that were in the packaging just to make sure there's no rattling. And then we have the cord laid out, just trying to figure out where we want to put it at. So now we have everything hooked up, and we found a spot to put the display at. It's nice and hidden. All you have to do is pull this panel off, and boom, there it is. Now we've gotten this far, we can go ahead and shut all the doors except for the driver door, since we're going to go ahead and get in. And then we're going to go find the key fob and bring it back into the car so we can start the process. Alright, first thing we're going to do is start the car up, is what the instructions say. And you're going to hold the buttons down for a few seconds until you see a code pop up. And then we have this ID that pops up. Alright, we're going to open the app. The first thing it asks is, do you allow Bluetooth? We're going to hit allow. And then you're going to put the ID in. Alright, I have it typed in, and then I'm going to click pair. And it's scanning for device, and we have it going on. And this is going to show you all the different options you have. I think there's 64 options that you can choose from. Alright, you're going to press the right selector, and then it's going to go back into its regular screen. As you can see, it's there. Alright, now we're going to put that back up where we put it at. Perfect spot. Alright, so first it brings you up to the comfort mode, and it also shows you on the display CF0. And if you want to change this, all you have to do is drag this little dial around, and as you can see, it goes up to all the different levels it has. And then on display it has comfort, sport, ludicrous, drag race, artificial intelligence, valet, weather, and economy. I see a lot of the Corvette people talk about the ludicrous, so we're going to have to check that one out and see what it's about. Now that we have the throttle controller installed, we're going to take it for a drive and see the difference. For our first test drive, we're going to start with comfort mode 5 and see what it does. Next one we're going to do is sport on 5. Chris 5, which all the Corvette people, I see all their videos, they talk about how crazy this is, so we're about to see what it does for the Wrx. So the first 2 tries, we read the instructions, and it says to go to the settings and switch it to manual mode, obviously because it's a manual, and we should see an even more difference. And for this one, we are going to be on Ludicrous 5. Let's check it out. Alright, this is Ludicrous 5, here we go. Right off the bat, we're going. Alright, so a big thing with the throttle controller is when you go to settings, you're going to see that there is a lock option. This is a big thing for the Corvette community because they were having issues with people stealing their Corvettes. What this is going to do is basically turn off the gas pedal. So if the car is on and you have this option on and you press the gas pedal, it will not go anywhere. So we're going to turn it on lock just to show you. So the car is on right now, and we're going to hit the gas pedal. Nothing at all is happening. Nothing. And then we're going to turn it back on. The takeaway from this video is get yourself a Solar Performance throttle controller. It brought the Wrx to life. It has 64 options and it's definitely worth it.